Morning, Bob.
Good morning, Sully. How are you?
Hey, pretty good, man. Want to talk a little softball. We're talking football and baseball all morning, so I want to give the girls a little attention, and you guys have a pretty solid team that went down to the Babe Ruth World Series. Tell us about that experience.
Just a top-notch event. What an experience for these girls to have at such a young age. We went down to Jensen Beach for the Babe Ruth World Series 14U, and we ended up going 8-4 overall. Lost in the championship game of the Diamond bracket, but what a just unbelievable experience for these girls.
That's a ton of games. Is that the normal format?
Well, how it works was we go down, you play 2 friendly games, and then you break up into pool play, which you have 3 games there. We ended up 5-0 at that point, seeded number 3 going into the bracket play. And what happens is the low 2 seeds of pool play are put into the Diamond bracket. They don't qualify for the World Series bracket. Then the first teams that lose out of the World Series bracket drop down into the Diamond bracket. And then from there on out, when you lose, you drop down to the Diamond bracket, which gives the girls plenty of games and opportunities to play down there.
Oh, I see. Cool. Were you surprised at all that this team advanced that far? Or what were you thinking early in the summer when you guys were kind of just getting going?
Well, we actually won states last year's 12U, and last year we started a travel team under the Vineland Tsunami, and we wanted to keep our girls together, so the organization agreed to have 2 14U teams this year, which we were able to keep our entire all-star team together. So we ended up playing like 7 tournaments to gear up for this year, and our ultimate goal was to get to Florida, and we ended up achieving that.
We're talking with Bob Dickenson, who's the coach of the Vineland 14-year-old Babe Ruth softball squad that was recently down in Jensen Beach, Florida for the World Series. Coach, what was that experience like for you? Obviously, that's a lot of games with a group of teenage girls, and I'm sure they enjoyed the experience off the field as well. Did you get a chance to do anything other than play softball, or was it just that many games where it was just all softball all the time?
At the beginning of the tournament, we had some off days where we only played 1 game a day. So the hotel we were at, obviously we got a pool the girls could enjoy. And, some parents went off and did the beach at Jensen Beach. Other ones went and did a water park. But we tried to keep the girls together as much as possible just to keep the camaraderie going and enjoy the experience all together.
Now, Bob, you're hanging around with a bunch of, I guess, 8th graders and high school freshmen. How much new slang did you learn, and how much new music did you learn in the past week or so?
Well, I've been with these girls for 2 years now. They're all great friends together off the field, and let's just say I'm used to coaching boys all these years. I help out at the high school with Johnny Mao and them. And with girls, it's a different experience, but I got to tell you, I've enjoyed every minute of it. These girls just leave it all on the field. They want to play. They enjoy the game, and they love playing it.
Have you learned how to Snapchat yet?
No, that's one thing I haven't done.
You and me both, Coach.
I'm on Twitter and, Facebook and all that, but I haven't done the Snapchat thing yet.
Coach, what's the coolest thing about getting these girls together and going on a trip like that to Florida? Like you said, they're all about anywhere from 13 to 15 years old, and really kind of coming into their own socially and athletically, and it's got to be a great experience to have them all together and bonding as friends and teammates, and you get all the parents come together, kind of what you've seen from the Atlantic Shore baseball program in the last couple of years, and now you guys get to enjoy that.
Yeah, like I said, these 12 girls are friends on and off the field. They play rec league together and travel. We had a extensive travel season along with some scrimmages and games in between. Don't get me wrong. When you have 12 girls together, there is some drama, but they get over it quick, and they get along really well.
How much of a help are the parents? Obviously, this is a big production, and getting a team down there, you have to raise a lot of money and organize all kinds of travel itineraries and all that. I'm sure you had a bunch of parents who really chipped in, and talk about that a little bit in terms of the families coming together and really helping to facilitate the process of a week and a half down in Florida?
So I got to tell you, I have the best group of parents out there possible. When we found out we were going, they just hit the ground running. We raised over $17,000 just amongst us. And then also our VPL League, Vineland Pigtail League, donated the rest of the money that we needed to get there. We flew down. Bella Limousine donated 3 vehicles for us to take us to the airport. And we got a coach bus to bring us back from the airport. So, we really tried to make this a first-class experience for the girls because, in reality, how many of these girls are going to play college ball? And I think this event that they participated in has got to be one of the highlights, of their life that they'll think back. And when they think about this event, it's going to be a smile on their face.
Coach, what does that say about the town of Vineland? I'm sure these girls have kind of lifted up the townsfolk a little bit, and there's been some tough times the last couple of years down in Vineland with some factories closing, some businesses, and this has to go a long way in terms of invigorating the community a little bit, and obviously seeing all those businesses really come through for you. That's got to be a great feeling, and I'm sure the girls are happy to represent Vineland down there in Florida and do their best for the town, not just the team.
I got to be honest, I work for the city. I'm the administrator there, and, before we left, we got hit with some bad news that Progresso is closing. So I think with these girls, being able to do what they did kind of lifted Vineland up, and also the boys team went to the World Series as well. So, I couldn't ask for to be more Vineland proud than what the community did as far as backing us financially. Their support on Facebook when we were down there, the comments, it was just unbelievable.
And that's, Vineland's kind of becoming a little bit of a softball powerhouse in its own right in terms of the travel teams. The high school teams really done well the last couple of years. You're seeing some girls get recognized in terms of all Cape Atlantic, all South Jersey. And what's the vibe down there in terms of the softball community?
You did an interview not too long ago with Jimmy Haig and Corey Haig, and Corey Haig is a big supporter of our program, and the girls really look up to her. So, what our goal is as coaches is we're trying to give, Coach Cole give Vineland a feeder program where, I'm predicting that our team right now, they're going to be the ones that are going to be playing for a state championship junior and senior year, hopefully, for Vineland High.
How much do these girls, I guess, what are they, 8th grades, freshmen? They're going into freshman year?
I have 4 girls that are going into 8th grade, and the rest are going to be incoming freshmen this year.
So how much did you mentioned Corey Haig and some of the other outstanding players on the Vineland High School team. How much did they look up to those girls? And those girls are setting a great example. Obviously, a lot of good students on that team, a lot of good doing a lot of community service, that kind of thing. I know the baseball program and the softball programs at Vineland High School are really into the community service and doing things the right way. And that's got to be a great example that you could point to and say, hey, some of you girls are going to be the next Corey Haig in terms of being a leader of that high school team.
I'll give you an example. We got home Wednesday. Girls were dead exhausted. We played till after 1 o'clock in the morning in the championship game of the Diamond Bracket. And there was an involuntary high school practice Friday night, and my entire team was there, along with Corey Haig, Brianna Soupy, and Shiani Gomez. So, I think they're excited about going to high school. I think they're excited about playing Vineland softball and continuing our program as well. So, there was no time off for these girls. They're dedicated and they're ready to go.
Talking with Bob Dickenson, who coached the Vineland 14-year-old Babe Ruth softball team into a World Series appearance down in Florida recently. And, Bob, you mentioned, working with boys mostly. Obviously, your son was on the Vineland High School baseball team. And what's the biggest difference in terms of coaching girls at this age where they're 8th grade freshmen? Like you said, it's a big difference between coaching a 14-year-old girl and an 18-year-old boy.
Yeah. Well, don't get me wrong. You still get a little bit of attitude every once in a while. Boys or girls, but the girls I think they just show up and they're ready to play from the giddy up. Sometimes The boys have other things, and don't forget these girls are younger, so they don't have the other extracurricular things going on yet. But so far in my experience, these girls, especially my girls, they show up, they want to be there, they're ready to play, and they enjoy playing the game.
Are you surprised at how competitive these girls are? I mean, softball has really become super competitive, especially in South Jersey at the high school level, and now you see that filtering into the younger levels.
Yeah, I mean, we saw something special with these girls, last year in our All-Star run when we made it to regionals, and we fought hard as coaches to keep all these girls together. We're 100% Vineland. These other teams we played at the World Series, they draw from places like Cumberland, Atlantic, Cape May County, where their pool was just huge. And, we pride ourselves on keeping our girls together, Vineland. And, like I said, these girls, they may not be the best 12, but they're my best 12. You know what I mean? They lay it all out on the field, and they give 110%. We were playing in 98-degree heat, 105 heat index, and these girls just didn't quit. They played their butts off.
Good stuff, Coach. We're up against the break. Got to let you go, but congratulations on your team and making Vineland proud, and we're all glad to be a part of that. So keep up the good work, and we'll see them back in the World Series hopefully next year.
Yes, sir. That's our goal. And Sully, thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it.
No problem, man. Have a good weekend.
You too. Take care.
That was Bob Dickenson, who helped coach the Vineland 14-year-old Babe Ruth softball into the Babe Ruth World Series down in Florida recently. So congrats to the Vineland girls, and keep up the good work, girls.